arguing about ways of understanding the world. What do I believe? What's my counter-argument to Peter's doomsday scenario? This book is soaked in it. I think strangers can care for other strangers. I think the act of nurturing changes a person for the better. I think that love, trust, hope, and all the higher values are real and possible. I think humans are strongest when we find ways to work together, even though lasting cooperation is hellishly difficult to achieve. And I fervently believe that humanity will survive to the stars. I think we have to. Whatever drives us won't be satisfied until humans occupy every habitat we see, however marginal, however dangerous, and without regard for whoever or whatever was living there before us. We are the species that colonizes. We are the species that causes problems. For ourselves, for other species, for ecosystems, for the planet. Humans can make trouble out of 2 sticks and a bit of tinder, and we like nothing better than to tell stories about how we took a bold risk and survived. Here are some of those stories. Some are dark, indeed. Having hope is hard when you know how people work, how we create and destroy at the same time, love and hate with equal fervor, cling to fantasies and reject facts. With a clear understanding of human nature, it's much easier to predict a bad outcome than imagine a route to something more equitable. Falling apart is easy. All destruction requires for people to stop trying. Building something, fixing something, that's hard. But we do build, we can fix, and at a heck of a pace when motivated. And often all we need is the right story to get us moving in the right direction. I have loved short stories my whole life. The first short fiction I remember reading were Saki's and Oscar Wilde's in an anthology that ended up in my hands at the age of 7. At that age, most books came to me by chance, and getting enough of them was always an issue because reading was everything to me, in a way nobody understood. I've always been a book-based life form, but as a child, I had no books. My family would scoff at that, but what they don't understand is that if you read 2 books a day, you need hundreds per year, not 6 or 8. For me, access to books was a survival issue. I could go on. Small town, no bookstores. Town library in the high school, full of scary older kids. When my parents divorced, my mother moved to Edmonton and worked at a mall which had a library, but that's a saga about the Black Stallion series and ended with me never going in there again, despite the kind librarian who waived a year of late fees. I could get more dramatic about this, but really, all I'm trying to say is that my devotion to fiction is practically primordial. When I discovered the science fiction and fantasy section of the mall bookstore, my life got much, much better. Then, a life-changing event happened. December 1983. My family stopped for gas in Blue River, one of the tiny towns spaced an hour apart on the Yellowhead Highway, amid the mountains of central eastern British Columbia. Inside the gas station shack, on the shelf above the cashier's head, was a copy of Asimov's science fiction, with Connie Willis's Blued Moon on the cover. Never was there a magazine cover better suited to catch a teenage girl's eye. A cat, a moon, an intriguing title. And the story. Playful, intellectual, romantic. It changed me. Connie's story made neurons fire that had never seen a spark. And from that moment, I was a different person. A teenager steeped in cutting-edge short SF of the 1980s, who haunted the drugstore waiting for the next issue of Asimov's, Analog, F and SF, and Omni. My thought processes, my politics, my beliefs, shaped by the work of Connie, James Tiptree, Jr., Octavia Butler, James Patrick Kelly, John Kessel, and later Maureen McHugh, Michael Bishop, and Walter John Williams. At university, I just wanted to be Connie Willis when I grew up. I married an SF writer. Eventually, I evolved.